Okay. So yes, it is really muddy out this morning, and welcome to day 2 of week 17 of Urban Agoge. I'm really up against the gum now. I've got some final packing to do for the upcoming holiday. Tonight's my last shift, and tomorrow morning I'll be off down to Northampton, hang out with Dean for a bit, and then on to Bedford, and then down to East Sussex. Can't remember exactly where Byline Festival is. So yes, I wonder what awaits me and whether it will be a good time. Still very trepidatious about being able to make it through the entire festival, but you never know. You never know. So I don't know. Let's bring this round. Yeah. So if somebody asks me what I think about, a plan to save the world that's literally just too lightweight to work, not just, it's unlikely, but like really pointlessly, doomed to fail, but that will suck down the resources and the ability to care of lots of people. I think it might be an event at which I need to meditate a lot. So yes, let's go down here. No, because it's traditional on Urban Agoge to risk life and limb in order to bring you the footage. The weather has been universally rubbish. From my perspective, I'm pretty sure there are people out there that think, it would be lovely to be in the rain. You come from somewhere very dry, and if you come from somewhere that's routinely wet, and it's more than halfway through August, we're 2/3 of the way through August. This was our summer. We got like a week of nice weather, but the long-range weather forecast seems to indicate that things will improve over the weekend, although I think it's highly likely that any field with 5,000 people in it is going to be churned up into mud in a heartbeat. So yes, it could be fun. So yeah, and given that I'll be hanging around with Jason for 4 or 5 days, will I come back with an Aussie accent? That's going to be my question. So if I come back and I've got a little bit of a twang, you shouldn't be overly surprised. Yeah. And now there's a promontory. It's like, look, we've got essentially a bit of a sandbar extending out into the river, which is still really moving very fast. As they say on Doctor Who, water always wins. Also, Digital Whiskey says that. But there again, he's quite close to Holland, where water totally wins. But yeah, chances of seeing cool wildlife, nil, as I'm talking. But yeah, so I've got about 20% of my packing to do today, and I was hoping to get it all squeezed into one bag, but you know, 6 days is 6 days, you know. That's the thing about festivals, you want to be kind of presentable. So yes, it's all about the packing. And then all about repacking your gear to a point where it's hopefully at least usable. So yeah, at least 2 backpacks. Oh yeah. So time pressures and weather pressures. And particularly got time to do well, exercise particularly. So I'm knocking it on the head for this week. I'll be exhausted as it is. Yeah. I'm just printing off some presents. Some more prototypes of the little survival kit. And then we can... I don't think we're up to the final design quite yet. I think we're on a Mark II. So I'm sort of hoping that I can get at least some of it printed out as a kind of gift economy thing. And then maybe later on down the line, it is too noisy. And later on down the line I'll get more into stuff. Get more into it. But yeah. I need to find a few bits and bobs of survival kittage, because I'd like to make it as mix and match as possible. With a, if I was going to sell it on eBay, I'd want it to then link across to a YouTube video. Showing someone starting a fire, showing, extras and spares and things like that. Maybe even get some bags printed up. And also get the 3D printing so it's, decent. But yeah. So yeah, I'm playing with different colours of filament and stuff like that, and trying to do multiple prints. So at the moment, while I'm out, the printer's running off 2 of the little knives and their sheaths. So that's 6 objects in 2 different colours. So there's one of those little tiny Stanley knife holders in its sheath in black and one in green. I'm hoping to print those out. So yeah, whoa, very slippy. So yeah. But in order to be able to sell stuff on eBay, I think I'll need to come up with my own designs. So that could be interesting. and then just print them to order. I'd like to get to a position where you've got, you know, on the eBay thing, you could either buy parts of the survival kit that you liked in any of the available colours, the whole survival kit, and like a restock. So a couple of spare lighter flints, a couple of spare batteries for the torch, a couple of spare Stanley knife blades, and some tinder. You know, just make that into a little package so people could say, right, well, I want the survival kit, you know, and try and make it fair, but also try and make it convenient for me. But I'd also like to be able to print out the entire survival kit, like literally switch on the printer, tell it to print a kit, and then come back and all the component parts, all the 3D printable parts are just sat there. You know, and then, you know, allow people to pick what colour bulbs they want for the torches and things like that. So that would be a fairly complicated eBay page. So I'm slowly building up to like a production level of 3D printing, which would be great. And maybe that will necessitate buying another 3D printer. But I don't see the primary 3D printer as a loss in any way. Now, even if I know a bit more about it, and you only ever learn more about it by, you know, or I do anyway, by first getting a 3D printer and then, you know, seeing what's wrong with it. So I think if you were going to buy a 3D printer today, I think my primary advice would be get a Creality CR10, which seems to be pretty beloved. There are whole user groups devoted just to that printer. You can get them in various sizes. The electronics are good. The assembly is stupid fast. It's like you can have a Creality printer assembled and printing from when you get it within 20 minutes, which is what, to be fair, I managed to do with the Beiser, the CTC Beiser dual head one. The only downside with the Creality is that it's only got one print head, which is, you know, but to be honest, it only takes about 30 seconds to change over a spool of filament to a different colour. And if you're going to print things off just in one colour, I think if I started selling the survival kits on eBay, then I'd probably run off, you know, 10 units in each colour. Just start with 4 colours and then just go, right, okay, your choice, and just have a little box and just assemble it out of that, and then every so often print off another 5 kits in colours that I was running low on. So, but yeah, I think the Creality CR10 is probably your better printer for the money. You know, they're a little bit more expensive, about 180 quid, but the assembly really isn't a lot of hassle. I mean, I chose the CTC printer mainly because it was pre-assembled, and I didn't want my first experience with a 3D printer be, you know, 5+ hours of assembly. If I'd known more, I might have bought the Creality. But the CTC Beiser is nice and compact. It goes on a desktop, it's in an enclosure, it's already assembled. There are only a few tweaks to get it up and running. So for a first FDM, you know, which is, I think, filament deposition modelling printer, I think the CTC Beiser is a good machine, but not one that I would say, you know, if you only ever want to buy one 3D printer, I think the Creality wins out. But yeah, but I'm very happy with it. I mean, I would have paid £150 to go on a course to learn about 3D printing, and over the last month I've got that course and I've got a load of useful objects out of it. I've probably used 3/4 of a kilogram, and I've been printing off some sort of doohickey every single day. So yeah, recommended as a technology to become interested in. So after this, after I get back from the festival, in which I will try and learn things for you. They've very strangely they're not allowing people to film particularly at this festival, but I am taking the camera rig, and we'll see what we can get. You know, I want to believe that there are people out there that can actually see it. I know there are, but I want to see a whole bunch of them in one place at one time. But yeah, so I will, over that whole weekend from Thursday through to Monday, I'll be trying to keep a video diary. If I can upload it, I will, and if I can't, I will upload it all on Tuesday when I'm home and break it into digestible episodes. So Tuesday might well be a very video heavy week for you all. So week 18 might be fairly action packed, but we'll see. It's all down to an incredible amount of time compression. I've still got loads to do to get packed. Still got clothes to pack, still got equipment to pack and charge up. Got to get back and charge up all these doohickeys, like the gimbal, the camera, check that I've got enough spare SD cards, check that I've got as many spare batteries as I can do, pack a solar panel, because unlike EMF they're not providing power to the tents, all stuff like that. So yeah, we shall deploy into the field as if we have nothing, and we'll drop in Fallschirmjäger style. Yeah, so after I get back and the dust has cleared and all the video's been edited, and there might not be any. I went to EMF and I didn't video a lot, although now I've got a much more compact system thanks to my lovely sponsors and patrons. So yeah, let's call this a dry run for next year's EMF. See what happens then, and take a lot less stuff, because I ain't doing it. It's too much. I took way too much stuff last year. It took way too long to pack it down. Yeah, let that be a lesson on OPK, which is a thing I came up, me and a very interesting chap called John came up with while we were living in bell tents and teepees in West Yorkshire. And OPK stands for Other People Kit, and the temptation that you know you're competent when you start packing stuff with other people in mind. Like you take along an extra mug or an extra plate because you know that people forget it, or you bulk out your first aid kit because you know you're going to be patching up other people. So yeah, OPK. Got to be wary of all that. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling for me now, and I can hear people in the distance, so I'm going to call it done. So, keep them peeled. Hopefully you're going to get another video tomorrow night, ideally. But if you don't, there is a very good chance there won't be anything more up until Tuesday next week, when I finally get home and edit all my stuff and get it into some sort of conceivable thing. So yeah, apologies if you don't get anything. Hopefully you will, but there's absolutely no way I can upload stuff unless there is a broadband hub somewhere, or an internet cafe set up somewhere on site, or a charging station. So yeah, so hopefully I won't need any of that. Maybe I can upload something off my phone, like some interim videos for, you know, like a diary video, while I'm at Byline, and I'll do my best because I've got a much better phone now. So we'll see what kind of situation we're in, but outside of that, thanks for watching. Do take care.